Hi Poema, I have your review here and I'm going to go over the questions that you missed. So the first one says, which statements describe the graph of 2 and 8/9 is greater than or equal to x on a number line? Select 3 options. So I typically will tell students on here to actually graph the number line. So we're going to put 2 and 8/9 here in the middle. The symbol is greater than or equal to, it has the line under it in any case, so we are going to include that 2 and 8/9. We also typically will write these with the variable on the left hand side, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite the inequality. So we can see here we're talking about all numbers that are less than or equal to 2 and 8/9. Sometimes when students don't write that with the variable on the left, they'll get mixed up. So the graph does contain the point 0 because 0 is to the left of that or less than that. There's a closed circle because the line underneath, and then you selected the arrow points to the right, but the arrow in fact points to the left. Again, that could be seen here when I rewrite it, and we're talking about all of the values that are less than or equal to 2 and 8/9. Question 3, which inequalities have the solution set that's graphed on the number line? Select 2 options. So the option that you chose that's here with the red X, this actually says X is less than or equal to -2. Again, you're going to probably hear me say this a lot. It's so important to put that variable on the left-hand side so that you can actually see what it's saying, because this is like the reverse. This says that -2 is greater than or equal to X. So if -2 is greater than or equal to X, then the one you selected here with the red X would actually be all the numbers that are less than -2. Less than or equal to. These two inequalities that both have the check marks actually have the exact same thing. The second one's just written with the variable on the right hand side. Anytime you want to switch around an expression, let's say you have a number is greater than x, anytime you want to rewrite that with the x on the left, you then have to flip the symbol. So that's what it's trying to get you to see here, is that both of those with the check marks are actually the exact same inequality. So it looks like on these we would just have to solve them. So I'm going to just take the actual solution. So when we solve one-step inequalities, very similar to solving one-step equations, we're going to add 2.5 over to the left-hand side. Excuse me, negative 3.25 plus 2.5 is negative 0.75, and that's greater than r. So now when we rewrite it, we have r is less than negative 0.75. And that is what the graph does show there. The one that you picked, if I subtract 2.5 from 3.25, I would get a positive 0.75, but you can see that it is a negative 0.75 there on the number line, so you should have gotten a negative 0.75. Which inequalities are equivalent? So basically you're just trying to see when I do the same thing to both sides. So this first one is how we would actually solve it. We would subtract 15 from both sides. That works. This second check mark here, the third one down, shows subtracting 22 from both sides. And while that doesn't actually get us closer to the solution, because it was done to both sides, it does work. Same with this one, we're adding 6 to both sides. Again, that's not a step we would take to solve it because it doesn't get us any closer to the solution. In this first red X, they've subtracted 15 from one side but not from both. And in the bottom one, they've subtracted 22 from one side but not from both. So here they're trying to get you to see that whatever you do to one side of an inequality, we always have to do to the other. Yuck. So that's this inequality from words. This is a tough one. Thankfully, that's not where the error is. The error comes from the words is at least. And so this one's hard for students. Most students will put a less than symbol because they see the word least and so they think less than. But when we say at least, that actually means greater than or equal to, because it can be negative 16 or greater. When we say at least, that means the smallest it can be is negative 16. So it can be negative 16 or it can be greater. Similarly, when you see the words at most, that actually means less than or equal to. So for the correct answer, the inequality symbol is translated incorrectly because at least should be greater than or equal to instead of just greater than. And this one's similar as well. It's looking at the words at most, and this is what we just talked about. So at most means less than or equal to. So that was it for your review. Let me know if you have any other questions, and if you take the test and you're not happy with that score, also let me know that as well, and I can make a video for you or get it reset. Thank you.